Ruby, Sanctum. So, this week we're going to take a step back away from Cataclysm a little bit and back away from the expansion just a little bit and look into the much closer future at patch 3.3.5. Just looking over the patch notes here, not a whole lot in the patch notes really. They're pretty short. A couple of chat interface upgrades. They're adding Real ID in, which is pretty cool. The way Real ID works, if you haven't messed around with it in StarCraft 2 yet, you basically you get somebody's BattleNet email address, and then you can add you basically by just asking them for it, and then you can add them as a Real ID friend. What that does, aside from showing you their real name and vice versa, which has a lot of people up in arms, but I don't really want to get into that right now. It also basically lets you communicate between games. So if they're playing StarCraft and you're playing World of Warcraft, you can still talk to them. Also lets you send broadcast messages, which are kind of like Facebook status updates or something along those lines. So it's kind of cool. It'll be interesting to see how much people actually end up using it. Because, I mean, it really is just those two games, and obviously just Blizzard games, which, I mean, makes sense considering it's Blizzard products, but it'll be interesting to see how much use it actually gets out of it compared to just a normal friends list. Inside World of Warcraft, it does mean that you can talk to people who are playing on other servers at the time, which is kind of cool. And that might actually be a little bit more interesting of functionality for it, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. That's not what I want to talk about today, though. What I would like to talk about is Ruby Sanctum, the real meat and potatoes of patch 3.3.5. Basically, the whole point of this patch, aside from those couple little upgrades, is to bring this new dungeon into the game and basically give everybody who's been farming Icecrown Citadel for a while at this point just something new to do. So let's go over some of the details. First and foremost, just like the Obsidian Sanctum, where Sartharion is, the Ruby Sanctum is underneath Wormrest Temple in Dragonblight. It's just another little one main boss, just a little side instance down in there that you just run into, and there's a couple of mini-bosses, and then you kill the main boss. There are 3 mini-bosses, actually, and I have their names right here, and I'm going to read them because I want to pronounce them right, because they're kind of awkward, so here we go. Saviana Ragefire, okay. Baltharus, maybe it's Baltharus, I don't know, one or the other. Something like that, Baltharus the Warborn. And then General Zerithrian. Okay, so those are the 3 mini-bosses. They have weird names, but those are the 3 mini-bosses. They don't have any loot. They just drop a frost emblem, kind of like the, what was it, Tenebron, Vesperon, and Shadron in the Obsidian Sanctum. I'm surprised I still remember those. I haven't done that place in like a million years. But anyway, all they do is drop a frost badge, which, I mean, frost badges are cool. Everybody loves frost badges. And you have to kill them to be able to get to the main boss, which is Halion the Twilight Destroyer. Basically, the long and the short of the storyline of this instance is that the Black Dragonflight has decided that, for whatever reason, I'm assuming something cataclysmic, shall we say. Huh? Yeah, never mind. Anyway, for whatever reason, the Black Dragonflight has decided that they need to blow up the Red Dragon... what is it called? The Red Dragon Shrine, the Ruby Sanctum, in order to be able to presumably bring Deathwing into the world and start the Cataclysm. So your job as a player is to go in there and stop that from happening, thereby making sure that the next expansion is never released. Okay, probably not that either, but still, that's the basic gist of the story is Halion the Twilight Destroyer is inside the Ruby Sanctum, and he's screwing around in there and doing something. He wants to blow the place up. I don't know. I haven't actually done it yet, so I can't really say too much about the storyline at this point. So, but anyway, you have Halion the Twilight Destroyer. He's the main boss. There is a hard mode, but it's not like the one in the Obsidian Sanctum. It's not a, did you leave I'm not even going to name the bosses again. Did you leave boss 1 up? Did you leave 2 bosses up? Did you leave 3 bosses up? It's not like that. It's you clear everything, and then it has the same sort of setup as Icecrown Citadel, where you either have it set to heroic mode or you have it set to normal mode, and that determines what loot you get off the boss. It looks like loot is tuned to be the same as Lich King is. Same item level that Lich King is. So in 10-man mode on normal, you're getting item level 258 drops. On heroic in 10-man, you're getting I believe it's 264. And then in 25-man on normal, you're getting item level 272s. I think 272, 271. I don't remember. There's been so many different numbers going on that I'm starting to lose track of all of them. But anyway, right around there. Same as Lich King on normal, on 25 normal. And then on heroic, you get the 284, I think. That's the plan anyway. That's what I understand of it. So, yeah. So really just a nice, simple little run-in and one-shot everything instance. Hopefully, anyway. Nothing too complicated. It's just kind of there to be a little bit of extra something or other to do while we basically farm Icecrown and wait for Cataclysm to come out. So since I've got a little bit of extra time this week, I'd like to go over the remote auction house system that's coming up a little bit. They actually got a beta test running of it right now for a handful of realms. But when it's complete, it'll work for every single realm. Basically what it is, it's an iPhone app, or you can go through your web browser. There's a monthly fee of $3.99, no, $2.99, I'm sorry. Monthly fee of $2.99, so $3 basically. And as long as you're subscribing to this extra little fee, you can go into your web browser, actually use the auction house for your realm through your web browser, or if you have an iPhone or I guess an iPad, LOL, you can use an app for that instead and just be able to check the auction house while you're sitting on the bus or something, or I don't know, if you're just really got to make sure that you're checking the auction house constantly, then maybe that's cool for you too. Now obviously there's a couple of interesting little irregularities there that are probably worth talking about. Number one, this is the first time in the history of the World of Warcraft that a player has potentially been able to gain a small advantage, even if this is a really small advantage. It's the first time in the history of World of Warcraft that a player has been able to gain any sort of advantage by paying a little bit extra. Now, in this particular case, I don't think that the ability to access the auction house from anywhere is really a big enough advantage that it's really going to matter, except for the people that just really want to be able to use the auction house. There are certainly a lot of people, not me, but certainly a lot of people that just absolutely have to be on the auction house all the time. They're logging in whenever they're not like in a raid or doing something else in World of Warcraft. They're checking the auction house. They're going through, they're finding the low things, they're selling the high things, and I don't know what you guys do, but somehow or another people make an entire game out of playing the auction house, and that's cool. You know, if that's what you enjoy, then go for it, and you will definitely like this this app and this service that they're providing. Like I said, really small advantage for most people. Probably not going to be a huge thing either way, but it is there, and it's been a concern for a lot of people that I've seen recently about, is this a sign of things to come? Personally, I have enough faith in Blizzard that they're not going to start like charging money for being able to go to raids or anything silly like that. I don't think that this is a harbinger of the end times of World of Warcraft, where you have to pay an extra $5 a month to be able to use a mount or anything silly like that. This is really just an extra little service that obviously has extra upkeep, so they're charging a little extra just to help justify the expense of it. That, you know, a lot of people will probably be able to get some pretty good use out of. I mean, imagine people who want to be able to do something for their character while they're on their lunch break at work. You pay this little extra fee. I mean, $3. Who cares about $3, right? You pay this little extra fee, and you're able to check the auction house, do all your auctions and stuff while you're on your lunch break at work. Cool, awesome, fantastic. So I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I think this sort of out-of-game functionality is something that's really nice to see. I'd like to see them move this into some other directions as well, like maybe having some way to I don't know, get into the chat system, for example, and being able to chat with people in your guild or whatever who are online without necessarily being in the game yourself. I think that'd be pretty cool. They could do all sorts of other stuff too, like, I don't know, trade skills maybe. You might be able to craft some stuff while you're offline. Probably charge a fee for that too. I don't know. I just think it's interesting because it opens up a lot of possibilities for other stuff that they could do in the future. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so that pretty much kills it for this week. One last announcement to make. This is pretty awesome. I'm moving back to Tuesdays, so when you come back next week to watch the video, it will be going up on Tuesday, like it was when I originally started this thing. So yeah, back up on Tuesdays. Check back next week. Should be more awesome. Hopefully more awesome. I'd like it to be more awesome. See you later.